Hello, mythical creature lovers. I'm glad to be back again with you today. I hope you had a good week. Well, we've been down quite a journey, haven't we? Where we've seen lots and lots of mythical creatures. We've seen Nessie and the Kraken, and remember Sedna, the trickster raven? And we've seen sirens who tried to snatch Odysseus on his way back home. And then, of course, there's been other sirens and mermaids, some of them nice and some of them not so nice, right? And last week, of course, we talked about those very, very tall tales and whether or not there really are tall, tall giants in the world. A lot of you think there are. And I would tend to think that maybe there have been people who have been so tall that many of us have considered them giants. This week, we're going to pause and I'm going to let you create a mythical creature of your own. How are we going to do that, you say? Well, it's going to be easier than you think. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So let's get started. First off, I want you to think about what are some of the favorite animals or creatures that you know. Make a list. And once you write down, let's say 4, then I want you to think about what are the things that you really like about those animals. What is so appealing to you about that particular animal? So let me give you an example. Maybe one of your creatures might be a lion. So you put that on your list and you say to yourself, well, I really like the lion because he has a big mane and a long tail and he's got a fluffy back end and he's got really big paws. So you would write that down on your list. And then you would say, yeah, that's the things I really like about a lion. So I'm going to put that on my list. I'm going to set it aside. Okay, that's one of my picks for one of my animals. Now I'm going to think of another one. What would be another favorite animal that I like or a favorite creature? Well, let's say that Ms. Lynn's pick would be a goldfish. Who hasn't maybe wanted to have a pet goldfish? Or maybe their parents have said, in fact, I heard somebody say this week, well, you know, until you can't work up to a dog until you have a goldfish first. Okay, so goldfish is a popular choice. So I would say, okay, goldfish is going to be on my list. So what are the things that I can admire about a goldfish? Did I tell you? I had a goldfish when I was growing up, and it lived to be about 13 years old, which is super old in goldfish years. I don't know how we actually measure goldfish years. I know dog years is something like 7 years to every people year. Goldfish was really long for a goldfish. Anyway, that's beside the point. Well, if goldfish was on my list, I might describe it by saying, well, it has really flowy fins and it's bright colors and it has scales. So I might set that down. Now you notice I only put 3 things on this, but I could add more. I might say, well, besides just bright colors, maybe it's orange and white. I could list more things, but I put 3 on Ms. Lynn's list for goldfish. Okay, so that's number 2 for my pick. So then you think of a third one because you want to have like 4 is what we're going for as our goal. So the next one I might pick on my list would be a lizard because I think a lizard is pretty interesting. What would Ms. Lynn say about a lizard? Well, I would say they have feet with nails. They got those clawed feet. And they have scales. And they have a very long tail, swishy tail, okay? So that's how I would describe. I would want to make sure those are the things that are interesting to me. So I would put that down because that would be interesting. And I would want to have that on my list. You might put something different for your lizard list, but that would be something I would find interesting to put on my list. Okay, that's Ms. Lynn's third pick for an interesting creature. The last one that Ms. Lynn is choosing for this week, I might choose another one for a different week, but this week I'm choosing an owl. So I might describe this as an owl. I would say it has big eyes. Those owls have big eyes, don't they? A short beak, and it has wings, and it has a very round body, doesn't it? And they're big, kind of round little stuffed birds, aren't they? So that would be how I would choose to describe an owl. Of course, I could say lots of other things. I could say, you know, they can turn their necks around and everything, but those are the things that I just put down to describe it if I were going to do a description. Okay, now I've got my 4 animals right here. I've described them all, right? And I have a handy list. Now, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to look at all of these things that I wrote down, and I'm going to pick the things that I like most from each creature, the very, very most intriguing things that stand out as, ooh, I've got to have this in the creature that I am going to create. I feel that these things are the things that I am going to make sure when I make up my mythical creature, I want to include one of these characteristics or more on my mythical creature. And then I'm ready to start, and I'm going to combine some of these things to make up my new mythical creature. So, are you ready to see what I did? Okay, and when I got done, I colored it in. So here it is. How do you like it? See? It looks somewhat like an owl. It looks somewhat like a lizard. And it has some pieces that look kind of like a lion, right? And you see some goldfish too. So that's how I did my mythical creature. Let me show it a little closer up to you. So it's pretty fun to go about making up your own mythical creature that way. I hope you have fun with that this week. I am going to put the directions in an attachment in below, and you can go ahead. It's exactly the directions that I just gave you with the picture. You can go ahead though with the directions and make up your own, your very own, with your own animals. So I will see you next week. Have a great week. Don't forget to take your attendance. Bye.